take it back. I take it back. Maybe spending the night in a haunted museum a few times over does indeed leave one feeling a little bit like maybe they've got a lot to live for and their satisfaction with life just through the roof. What is that, Nalui? All right, well, you know what? I've given it a little bit of thought that we have done while we have our wonderful Leo here who wants to go cloud gaze with Nalui. That's right. And he also wants to master writing skill for some reason. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I personally would get more than 25, life satisfaction points from mastering a writing skill, like the writing skill, no less, compared to, going ahead and spending the night in a haunted museum and ending up with over 3,000 points, Leo! So you know what? I've given it more thought. I have, and I have decided that we're just gonna accept this. We're gonna accept that our boy Leo here is so convinced. He is still very sad. He actually woke up crying today, very depressed about. Louis, you do not need to cheat. He was so sad about his sisters dying this morning that he woke up really like crying and feeling quite distressed. But I guess we're just gonna have to accept this. I guess we're just gonna have to say that 3,000 aspiration points, which is way more than you need, buddy. I mean, then you could just kind of sneeze and end up with a money tree, and that's just not the way that things are supposed to be going. We could get him his paranormal investigator license, which would be kind of hilarious. But we're going to say he is just going to be talking with Nalui and Ukapanipo. Ukapanipo has this almost otherworldly vibe around him. After all, he seems to speak as though he understands the world in a completely different, deeper way than Leo does, which of course is because Ukapanipo is a merman, but Leo doesn't know that yet. Hopefully he'll find out pretty soon. But we're going to say that after talking with Nalui, after the nights he's spent being sleep deprived, staying up looking at stars and fish and what seemed to be very odd creaking somewhere deep in the museum, that we're going to give Leo his sixth sense. We're just going to give it. He now can see ghosts. He can communicate with them. That's wonderful. Hopefully we'll see his sister soon. But I felt like maybe that would make seeing his sister when we're supposed to be looking for axolotls something that's happening a little too soon. And then I feel like I need to use these points up somehow so that they're not inspired explorer and waterproof speed cleaner. He is, I wouldn't say he's the most tidy. Sacred candles ward off bad spirits. You know what? I feel like he would end up getting a couple things of sacred candles. Like if he's like, I don't know, okay, like if these spirits are real, sleep replacement, fear be gone, life station, he could get a bunch of potions with what we have left over, because I feel like he's just trying to understand. Let's get a couple of those sacred candles. I've actually never used them before, and so I think it would make sense that paranoid, oh, that's a lot more than I thought. That paranoid, nervous Leo. Oh, they're cool looking. So these sacred candles, spirits be gone. Place sacred candles to protect Sims and lower fear. But beware, some entities will try to blow them out. Keep them lit and help your Sims get a good night's sleep. Made from only the finest wraith wax. So here's my thoughts. We're going to just accept Leo. He's just... I don't know. There's just something about his expression where I'm like, I think he wants to be friends a little too much with some of our Sims. But we're going to say that we're trying to get axolotls. His sister died. She's a ghost. We're going to say, until we can bring her back to life, now that we've convinced him to a little bit just trust in his friends that maybe ghosts are real, we're gonna say maybe we'll have a challenge at the full moon to try to bring her back by the full moon or something like that. And until then, the nights we spend at home, I'll turn our home lot maybe into a haunted house. We'll have to see. Because I don't think he'd believe 100%, but he's just like open to the idea of ghosts. And the full moon now that we have unveiled this twist of, you know, the paranormal, maybe one of the challenges is that the full moon, every full moon, if I have a sim who does believe in ghosts, then ghost might appear, and like that night has to be a haunted house night unless we have warded it off somehow. I think that would work out really well. So we'll call this the moon spirit. Let's see. Moonlight spirits? Yes, I think that would be really cool. You don't get the day off, unfortunately. And maybe we'll just try to set up a little tradition where if you can see ghost in my Sims world and it's a full moon and we don't have anything else going on, and you don't have like a special item or something, or maybe like a paranormal thing, commune with the departed, conduct a seance, then we'll have that be like the night where the veils between the world of the living and the undead remembrance. Wow, I've got a lot to do, like summon a ghost. We've got a lot to do with ghosts, apparently. I wasn't expecting that. I won't make you watch scary movies too, dear. That would be a little bit too rude. Maybe tell stories? Summon Bonehilda. Oh my gosh. I think Leo could get used to Bonehilda because, you know, he's a researcher and he's probably dealt with a lot of bones. But I could see how that could be kind of nerve-wracking. All right, we'll let him, and then maybe tell stories is something you do, or how about we do appreciate an object? Just I like having a nice plain one, but maybe that's something that we can kind of set as a reoccurring event, unless you can appease the spirits. Moonlight spirits. Yes, and we'll work that out. I don't think we need to like set everything up right now, but at least putting down summon a ghost. A couple of them is going to help out with remembering in the future that like, oh, guess what? No matter what else you're doing with those axolotls, so you say, you know, you kind of got to deal with like ghosts popping up now and then. All right, we'll like completely tend to that more properly in the future. I wish you could just copy paste your little holidays, but that's okay. But I like that we're at least getting a little bit of a pattern going so we can remember. And if we don't finish before his depressed moodlet in like 17 days goes away, if we don't bring his sister back by then, I think it makes sense that she can't be brought back from the dead unless something super big happens. I'm still working with like all of those ideas, and hopefully I'll have them put down neat and tidy and much easier to go ahead and discover in like a little wiki that I'm working with on World Anvil for you guys soon. And myself. I could use something to help me remember. There we go. All right. So basically we have like a week before we have to worry about what to do with that. But I do like the idea. Maybe that's what we'll do. On that night, it'll be a haunted house night. There we go. But until then, you know, Louis still has to convince him. So I think ghosts are real. And also, Nalui has really been wanting to collect new crystals. She has been wanting to go ahead and actually like gather crystals and fossils. So I think what we might have her do is we might actually have her, who's still kind of ignoring Ukapanipo because she's feeling a little bit saucy pants at him. And also she couldn't find where the guys went last night. That was quite confusing. We're going to have her like study some of the fossils and do some of this research here. I'll see if I can make that count towards her job today. And we're going to have these two basically become study buddies. Oh, and then also, hopefully she can start mentoring him in the logic skill, and Leo can get what he needs in order to possibly get promoted in his biology career. And they're going to be spending the day going through all of these artifacts and kind of like looking into some of the hidden research. There's even a bunch of hidden research downstairs. Oh gosh, we haven't even found this room. That would definitely help out with the whole conducting seances room. Can I even see like where? I can't even, is there even a like lock? Yes, I mean, are there lights down here? Oh my gosh, there's like a whole bunch of bookshelves of mystery. Turn on all these lights for a second, would ya? Yeah, this would definitely, I think Leo would have nightmares if he found this room. So hopefully that room will remain hidden to him for a little while. Oh, wow. How do you get in there? Yeah, you'd have to go all the way through the crypts like multiple times. And I think that he's never managed to get past here, not only because he doesn't want to investigate too much of the museum's like crypts that they're built on top of, but also because I think he'd get distracted by just all the basic stuff of like historical significance that he'd be interested in. So I'm going to have them do that research and that studying. And while they're going through, maybe even like looking up the notebooks, they're looking for cross references about the axolotls and about actually having the axolotls and having the legend that we were talking about a while back, where we have the legend that we're saying this stone is going to kind of be around of rebirth and renewal. And so Nalui is guiding Leo into this research by talking about how maybe they can find references to the legends here in the museum that they can build up their logic points and whatnot around that can tell them more about the axolotls, where they might find some of the axolotls in the future, and also that can tell them a little bit about maybe these legends, since Nilui believing in island spirits and, you know, a mermaid being her kind of in very hot water, lava hot water boyfriend. I could see her wanting to see if they can find more axolotls since it's been so difficult by looking up those legends and just kind of how it overlaps with the cycle of like rebirth that they might have the ability to do. Meanwhile, speaking of said boyfriend, Ukapanipo, what would you like to do? He wants to level up his cooking skill, have a dream date that's worth... Look, if a dream date, which to be fair is a big challenge for him right now, is 250 aspiration points, I'm agog at the fact that it's only 25 for like mastering the writing skill. That's amazing. Ukapanipo, you actually, I think, are about to be given a task by Nilui if she happens to see you in a moment here, because I have a feeling that we need to start breeding more of these axolotls. So speaking of which, let's give a friendly gift to Leo. That would be give gift, friendly gift, some of these little axolotls, because it is definitely time that we go ahead and we start breeding more of them. And so let's see. Do we have mostly common types right now? I feel like Nilui is a little worried that like we just can't seem to be making like no progress there. She just really wants something that she can sort of focus on, sink her attention into. Are they all commons, really? Like, is that part of our problem? I bet we need to find some rare axolotls. That actually, I think that would be one of her main concerns at the moment, is the fact that, oh, good, there's some more axolotls outside already. All right, you know what? I think that she would want to go and look for some new varieties out and about. And I think that Ukapanipo, feeling super confident, you wander about and then, let's see. I feel like what would, let's say plant. Okay, it's time to go out and plant stuff, I think, even though a certain somebody is mildly starving. But if Nilui was like, it just doesn't seem like we have any of the axolotls that we need, and she wants to go collect crystals and fossils. Ooh, and the outside currently has a whole bunch of stuff going on. I mean, we might be able to dig some stuff up out here and even excavate some things. So that seems like a good idea. And then I wonder, what should we do with you? Explore, plant something. So maybe he'll come out. Ooh, I know. And Leo, I might have you come out and he wants to plant something that might have, he has a pineapple right now. Do we have anything from Nalui? She's got coconuts and pineapples that she could share. And then Ukapanipo has his mermatic kelp and some pineapples. Oh, and he's also got some kava root. I feel like we should wait with Leo planting things until he knows what he's doing. And Nalui just wants to run outside. You know what? We're going to have Leo come and establish an excavation site, actually. Because I think that he would want to come out and help. Because that definitely would be the veering off of focusing on some of this axolotl research that they would want to do. Meanwhile, Ukapanipo, I think, gets lost in this huge meandering, also, why are you blinking at me thing? There we go, thank you. This huge meandering museum. He tends to get a little bit lost and isn't exactly sure where he's going. He's kind of just viewing the collections at the moment. Like, I guess this is the stuff they want to do, which is fine. And he is also trying to figure out what to do about the fact that his romance stuff just didn't work. What are you doing with 4,000 points, sir? What are you doing? You're definitely a professional slacker. I'm just gonna give him that because he'll never have fear of being demoted. Nalui's very attracted to him. I think that's so funny. She's such a contradiction because on the one hand, she's like, oh, she's just like dealing with all of this like rain and isn't quite sure about everything. It is raining pretty heavily, but I feel like she would still want to do her best to like put up with the storm. The only thing she really has for being able to deal with the rain is maybe this little like overshirt thing. And then once he establishes this excavation site, I think they can get going on working on it together. But while he is establishing it, Nalui's gonna like jog over here and we're going to survey and then dig up this site. And then we're gonna have her come over and look for axolotls. Ooh, and she got some royalties coming in from some of her past like educational work. That's awesome. And Ukapinipo, I feel, that's hilarious. Nalui is such a contradiction. On the one hand, she's like really, I think, envious and attracted to the fact that Ukapinipo just kind of chills quite often, and he just sort of like doesn't seem to get very upset about not having drive and purpose. And then Nalui likes being focused. She likes being able to have that drive and purpose. But the drive sometimes overwhelms her, sometimes it commands her, and so she finds herself outside in the rain when, like, probably Ukapinipo is thinking about some way just to go ahead and get nice and cozy somewhere. We'll let him do what he wants, and then we're gonna come over, and I don't know why the poor Leo's stuck believing that he really needs to work on like this chess table, but we're just gonna have to leave it. He's getting quite hungry, but I think he'd be so excited to go and establish some excavation some excavation sites. Also, can I move this? I can! Behold the power of the tool mod! He can indeed establish some excavation sites, so I'm gonna have him do that. And then, what else do you need to do? Plant something. It'd be fun if you could plant things. But I like this. I'm starting to find my groove again. Apologies that sometimes it takes me a little while, but they would definitely spend some time doing a bit of research. And then Nalui now has a little bit of research data. Thank goodness. I want to try to keep her job. And then we'll send that to the research center. What's going on with you, Ukapinipo? The jerkster called. They said you're running out of you. Okay, that would make him a little annoyed. And then also that's kind of uncalled for. I don't even know who that guy is. But Ukapinipo, I feel like, ooh, socialite and robot parts over here. Did that make you happier, Nalui? Did that count as or sodalite? Did it count as a gemstone? Maybe. Is that a metal? It counts as a metal, I think. Curses. Not even a fossil. But she's optimistic. Also, I think she thought she was going to find Ukapinipo out here, so she's sort of surprised that, you know, he's not just hanging out. And we found a green axolotl now. I think we already had that type. And then, oh yes! So, you guys remember that pond we put down last time in all of that chaos? Behold! I still have to get the mod or override or whatever it is to prevent my poor trees from disappearing. But look at this! This is that pond! I still need to add a few more things here. But let's go maybe looking for frogs and call that axolotl research. But this is the Oasis Springs pond that, because we had Ukapinipo helping out with the axolotls and also helping out with like getting his fishing skill much higher, I went ahead and put the pond here. Oh, sunflower frog. And Leo found a dirt clump. Good for you, Leo. And what we're gonna have is this little wetlands. So it is an Oasis Springs pond. You can still see the edges. I'm gonna cover it up with more tool mod stuff. But now we actually have a functional wetlands in the area, which is so much nicer and allows us to do things like this. Collect up some lovely frogs. And now we can apparently breed our frogs together. And now we have an eggplant frog. And now we have 2 green axolotls, still common variant. So I think Mallory's a little concerned because like, and I wish that there was something I could have her do just to like stand around and, oh, if I want her to stand around and then get more research done so she can keep her performance in excellent for her job, even while she can't do like coral reef surveys, I need more plants, don't I? I do need more plants. So maybe I'll have her do, ooh, and there's another dig site. Maybe I'll have her do some like research about the plant life because they, and also I can have her come over, I almost forgot, and like survey this spot. And that would be good. Ooh, and then there's some spots. Crystals, yes, finally. Survey and dig, survey and dig. Oh, and I did put up some telescopes over here. You know, the place that only has this thing to study for historical insights and nothing else in it. We definitely needed something more interesting to do. Did you just find a fossil, my dear? Maybe I'll have her extract that inside at the archaeological like site because I think that would be useful. And let's have her survey and dig there. And the Leo, are you still, Leo buddy, are you good? Oh, you didn't even finish. He's just, oh, okay, at least he's starting to get excellent quality. He too, I feel like that mix of, does he have any archaeology skill? Oh, he's actually got a little bit of archaeology skill established, which is pretty nice. So maybe, do I want to have him do more excavation? Or go inside with his little dirt clump and work on that? We'll have him do, I want to get him promoted, maybe, just to show that things are going well. Plant research, plant research. All right, you know what? We're gonna have him go, there's not really any random location to buy seeds from, is there? No way, but the little shops I put down over here are actually functional. You're kidding me. So I am sorry, but you guys are gonna have to just take deep breaths because I've been having so much fun actually getting the tool mod up and going. And we now have little shops over here to come and eat at with little like food bits. So maybe while he wanders around, I want him to have plants to research and survey that look like native wildlife. Of course, that's such an interesting idea. And does he have any plants that he has collected? Where are my collections? There are my collections. There's so many beautiful, wonderful collections. Also, the My Sims and My Sims Kingdom is coming out on Switch like in a couple months. We're absolutely doing that, and I actually have some ideas that kind of cross over with Jean from our Green Family Legacy. I'll talk more about that later. For now, I'm just really excited about this. The idea of getting like the fossils put together, or honestly, the artifacts put together as a way of thinking about his sister. And then the axolotls is a family group, which is good to know. So what's the semis? Oh, those little things from the Snowy Escapes. Okay, let's see. City posters, snow globes. We need, not geodes, the plants? Gardening. Why does it say gardening and not just plants? I guess because there's a cow plant in there, but that's gardening. There are some, we could call the jungle adventures plants, the native plants, but I don't think any of them are actually like here. Ooh, I know, we can put down one of those like stalls where people do sales, and we'll see if anybody comes. And we can count that as maybe one of the possible ways to snag some plants, like the little entrepreneur table. We'll put that down over in the city area and just say like people are selling random things. Let's do this one. And let me go ahead and position it just so. Da 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 da. And then, wait a moment, and there we go. So we'll see if anybody shows up over here, but this is a possibility for something that people might like come over and do some cells. Where should I have it? Maybe like over here? I think I turned it at a funky angle and now I'm doubting myself, but this'll do. This'll do. And then we'll see if anybody comes to stock that table at some point. And we could call that a plant, but otherwise we could have him do some plant research and we could have maybe him buy some of the seeds. I feel like we should go to like a garden store or something for that, because then again, why can't you just like harvest wild seeds from wandering around the world? There's an idea. Gotta think about that. Maybe Brazen Lotus has done something like that. All right, Leo. All right. I need to send you out to go search for things. So you know what? Come and like take a photo and then survey this. Uki, are you good?
Handpay?
I think he ran into somebody at the museum who wants to make sure he doesn't destroy anything. That's totally cool. Oh, there we go. So this is going to be delightful because I just really feel like them working to get to the bottom of this like a mysterious archaeology aspect of it is going to help with giving us something to kind of focus on and some drive. And I've also been thinking that maybe what we can do is we can have some of the completed relics. If they can put together some of the completed relics, maybe we will discover another new way that we, at least, will say it is possible for the dead to be brought back to life. Tying it together with these adorable... Oh no. Oh dear, we've been thinking about the dead. He's been remembering his sister. Oh no. Oh my. Okay. We're gonna have to take care of that. And then, kind of need to take care of this too. Like spraying for the invasive species, Nalui. Unless, never mind. She's just gonna pick up that rock, like the crystal with invasive species and everything. All right, so there we are. I think we're starting to figure out a direction to go in. Having spots where they can research some of the native plants, very good, because that will let them just gather ambient stuff that we can like send to get our research points up and prevent us from, you know, having big issues with her work. Can I get this? No, not right now. Okay, not gonna question it. Okay, who's calling Ukapanipa now? No. Just I consider those spam calls. All right, let's see. And then let's have her breed the axolotls. Maybe the order they're in might provide some like secret insight into how many of them, or like which ones we should try breeding. How about the wild copper and the pink? So we have wild copper. Try breeding that one with a pink. We ended up with more coppers. This is why I think we're stuck in a loop of just common types of axolotls, and we need to do something about that if we want to find the others. But I'm happy with where the direction of things seem to be going, because hopefully that means that Nalui will be able to help out. She'll be able to like do a little bit of research. She's feeling super focused for looking at like the native plants. And I love the idea of being able to put down a bunch of things where when you do have people who are just like researchers or bird watchers or whatever, there's lots of little spots we could go just to have them kind of put some of that research to use. Also, a certain somebody, I wonder if his depressed mood brought the sad bear. And now he's thinking about the tragedies of love. Ah, dear. All right. Well, it's time to go ahead and take care of this group. And hopefully look for more axolotls and kind of get to the bottom of what we're going to do with that research. Nalui and Leo seem to be figuring it out quite well. Maybe we'll have them examine water. And then I feel like, how have you managed to gather a whole group of people listening in fascination? No doubt, don't tell me. Has Uga Panipo somehow managed, as we stand next to some of the artifacts that are from Sulani, he looks like he does, but then apparently his insights into some of the historical fish wrecks, because he's seen them up close himself. I love the idea that just attracted a whole bunch of the professionals of the museum. You're full of surprises, Uki. We'll keep piecing it together, and we'll get this working somehow, and give everybody some proper goals to focus on more next time. So, I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.